Day 13, WebSockets. It came without buffering, it came without lag. The story? The sock bus was packed with exploits and hacking. Today's treat, an app which allows where's car tracking. May malware adapt? Well, that's their suspicion. For glitch and Mixkitted, the proof was their mission. Wares are all about security. The glitch discovers that an app is illegally tracking the cars in Wareville. Not many car thefts in the city warrant such an extreme measure. He reaches out to Mixkitty to investigate. Investigate and identify how the application is tracking them and leaking users' positions. Yeah, you're all welcome to join the Discord. I saw that it popped up there in chat. Learning objectives. Learn about WebSockets and their vulnerabilities. Learn how WebSocket message manipulation can be done. And connecting to the machine. Before we move forward, review the questions in the connection card below and start the machine button. 3 minutes at once, right, to get the website up. So let's just start reading. So, introduction to WebSocket. WebSocket let your browser and the server keep a constant line of communication open. Unlike the old school method of asking for something, getting a response, and then hanging up. WebSockets are like keeping the phone line open so you can chat whenever you need to. Once a connection is set up, the client and server can talk back and forth without all the extra requests. WebSockets are great for live chat apps, real-time games, or any live data feed where you want constant updates. After a quick handshake to get things started, both sides can send messages for an hour. This means less overhead and faster communication when you need data flowing in real time. Traditional HTTP request versus WebSocket. When you use a regular HTTP, that was the IP pairing. Hop, right? So let's just copy it. While we're there now, I'll probably be further down. All the way there. So let's just get started again. Where were I? So, when you use regular HTTP, your browser sends a request to the server and the server responds, then closes the connection. If you need new data, you have to make another request. Think of it like knocking on someone's door every time you want something. They'll answer, but it can get tiring if you need updates constantly. Take a chat app for example. With HTTP, your browser would keep asking any new messages every few seconds. This method, known as polling, works but isn't efficient. Both the browser and the server end up doing a lot of unnecessary work just to stay updated. WebSockets handle things differently. Once a connection is established, it remains open, allowing the server to push updates to you whenever there's something new. It's more like leaving the door open so updates can come in immediately without the constant back and forth. This approach is faster and uses fewer resources. So, what are they doing? Kicking balls over a ping pong table? I don't know. WebSocket vulnerabilities. While WebSockets can boost performance, they also come with security risks that developers need to monitor. Since WebSocket connections stay open and active, they can be taken advantage of if the proper security measures aren't in place. Here are some common vulnerabilities. Weak authentication and authorization. Unlike regular HTTP, WebSockets don't have built-in ways to handle user authentication or session validation. If you don't set these controls up properly, attackers could slip in and get access to sensitive data or mess with the connection. Message tampering. WebSockets let data flow back and forth constantly, which means attackers could intercept and change messages if encryption isn't used. This could allow them to inject harmful commands, perform actions they shouldn't, or mess with the data set. Cross-site WebSocket hijacking, CSWSH. This happens when an attacker tricks user browsers into opening a WebSocket connection to another site. Ooh. If successful, the attacker might be able to hijack that connection or access data meant for the legitimate server. Denial of service DOS. Because WebSocket connections stay open, they can be targeted by DOS attacks. An attacker could flood the server with tons of messages, potentially slowing it down or crashing it altogether. What is WebSocket message manipulation? WebSocket message manipulation is when an attacker intercepts and changes the message sent between the web application and its server. Unlike regular HTTP requests that go back and forth one at a time, WebSockets keep a connection open, allowing constant two-way communication. This is what makes WebSockets great for real-time apps, but it also opens the door for attacks if proper security isn't in place. In this type of attack, a hacker would intercept and tweak these WebSocket messages as they were being sent. Let's say the app is sending sensitive info, like transaction details or user commands. An attacker could change these messages and make the app behave differently. They could pass security checks, send unauthorized requests, or alter key data like usernames, payment amounts, or access levels. For example, imagine a web application using WebSockets to handle money transfers between accounts. If an attacker gets hold of the message before it hits the server, they could change the amount being transferred or even send the money to a different account. That was my first thought there, right? Since a WebSocket connection happened in real time, these changes would take effect instantly without the user or server noticing immediately. This kind of manipulation can also lead to more significant problems. Hackers could inject harmful code or try to get higher level access. For instance, they might change a message to give themselves admin rights or insert malicious commands to take control of the server. What makes this attack so dangerous is that WebSocket connections often don't have the same security protections as traditional HTTP connections, like end-to-end encryption, which encrypts the request body of the HTTP request using JavaScript, using an AES key or RSA public key stored in the JavaScript file. If developers don't add vigorous checks like message validation or encryption, it's easy for attackers to exploit these gaps. By tampering with the data being sent, attackers can cause all sorts of damage, from unauthorized actions to full system compromises. The impact of changing WebSocket messages depends on how the app uses them and what kind of data is being sent. Here is a breakdown of what can happen. Doing things without permission. If someone can tamper with WebSocket messages, they could impersonate another user and carry out unauthorized actions, such as making purchases, transferring funds, or changing account settings. For example, if a WebSocket manages payment transaction, an attacker could manipulate their transaction amounts or reroute the payment to their own account. Gaining extra privileges. Attackers could also manipulate messages to make the system think they have more privileges than they actually do. This could lead them to access admin controls, change user data, view sensitive info, or mess with system settings. Messing up data. One of the significant risks is data corruption. If someone is changing the messages, they could feed bad data into the system. This could mess with user accounts, transactions, or anything else the app handles. They could change things in real time and disrupt everyone's work in circumstances such as shared document or tool. Crashing the system. An attacker could also spawn a server with bad requests. Spam a server with bad requests. causing it to slow down or crash. If this happens enough, the system could go offline, causing serious downtime for users and businesses. Without good security checks, this kind of message tampering can lead to anything from unauthorized actions to the downloading of an entire service. Exploitation. Navigate to. So let's copy the link. And we have where will car tracker. So I think my phone, it's been all 11 hours on stream. I need to just reconnect it because it's not behaving. There, now I can switch screens. So this was just the last Advent of Cyber day. So, where will car tracker? Your vehicles. Glitches car track. Community reports. McSkitty, the city center traffic is looking good. Come visit. And we can send stuff. Oh look, stuff is happening here. Going through Santa ST, all clear here. My reindeer stopped to eat some grass. It's been 2 hours now. Well, it's fine at least, right? So, I'm moving really slowly today. Also, SC Street. Okay. So, Santa Street and another car accident. Cool. So, we got an ad in here even, making it realistic, right? Alright, so we have malware too, but I guess I can't read all those, right? We will be stuck all day. So, if you're using the attack box on your browser, yeah, so we can just skip a bit here on Burp. Yeah, so let's go to proxy. And let's not do that because we're not in the attack box. So we need to intercept, I think they wanted us to. Yeah, here it says proxy intercept, because I saw that before when I was just scrolling through it, right? So let's do that. So we're getting constant messages. It's being connected. So let's go. Yeah, so I always go to the history. So let's just clear the history first. And yeah, so I'm like, what? It's new, got a new look. I mean, I never use the intercept really if we don't have to. So I use the history. So now we actually need to. So let's click the track button. And let's look back here and see what they want us to do. I'll just there. So, sorry. I had these in my ears for so many hours. I'm actually gonna switch ears. So this is so the TTS won't get an echo. That's why I have these. So, right. So go to your browser, click the track button. So we did that. Burp proxy will intercept the WebSocket traffic as shown below. So intercept is on. And we have a message here that we got to client to server request. So 42. So is there more? 42 is a very good number otherwise. I don't mind. Yeah, it starts with 42. And then it says message, text, car accident. Right. So we should probably do this to server. There we have it. So this is just one of the messages. track user ID 5. So they want to change this user ID to 8. And then click the forward. We're just getting a longer and longer list here. And we can see that all of these are actually the sites. So it's not only sending this WS, but also all requests. So it's sending requests, polling, with different T's there. So let's change this one. And I'm like, oh, I can't change it. Right, I did intercept now. I can change it. So there, and forward it. And I'm kind of assuming we're supposed to take intercept off, but let's just follow their instructions. Go back to the browser and check the community reports, right? Okay. So let's go back here. Let's actually turn intercept off, because nothing. So maybe I was just too slow here. This. Oh, untrack. So we're doing untrack, then we're doing track, and we're intercepting. So this message to server, oh, it's not sent. So we need to send that first. Now let's forward that. Here, track user 8. There. And then we forward this. Let's forward that too, otherwise we probably won't get anything right. So 2 client, 2 server, 3. Yeah, this is just the normal messages. So we're not getting any special message here. Go back to your browser and check the community reports. I think someone is tracking my car. Did I do something wrong? I don't think so. I didn't actually read the text. I just skimmed it. So let's actually read it. So close the window and enable the proxy intercept. Go back to your browser and click the track button. Burp proxy will intercept the WebSocket traffic as shown below. And here, change the value of the user ID from 5 to 8. And click the forward button. It only looks a bit different now. Go back to your browser and check the community reports. And we're getting messages, right? Though only if we forward them. So, oh, there it is. So we just had to wait for a bit. It was a bit slower. So it's still not appearing, but I saw the message. So why isn't it working? Let's update the page. So of course nothing is happening because we have intercept on. And we're gonna intercept again. And we can read it here, of course, but it's like a bit annoying. And maybe it's like a timing thing that we need to turn intercept off at once and they didn't mention. So let's forward this one and actually read the messages here now. So McSkitty, here's the thing we want. So let's copy it from here instead. Flag 1. and we forward that too. And here it's saying, I think someone is tracking my car, style, color to client. And I click forward. And then we do transport polling. Tracking update time. So I'm just gonna paste that that flag while I still have it, so I don't forget. Let's see what it says more. Go back to your browser and check the community reports, which it didn't appear. And note, if you don't see the traffic, try to click the untrack button, refresh the page, and click the track button again. So we did it several times and we saw it in Burp, right? So it was my third time now when I actually copied it. So we have a lot of them. Forward. I'm just reading all of them now. So let's untrack and keep this going. So we saw that it got the message, right? To probe. So when we're doing this, if we turn intercept off quickly, I think they will appear, right? So just another try. The intercept breaks it. Track, send an 8, and forward intercept off, and then we get it, right? So intercept is breaking it. And we can actually track his car now. So we'll probably see another message somewhere. What's he doing? Where's my car? So we can send a message here too. Test. Where the glitch. So it looks like glitch's car here. So we can't see this here, but I'm kind of assuming we can see these in the history. WebSockets history. And here we can see all of these messages. We could have just went here to copy the message. And I've never looked at this, so it's new to me. That's kind of cool. Nice. So I've seen this exists. That's why I knew it was there. So what was I thinking? Right, what's the other part? So to server. To server. There. So the other one says track. What if we do something else on track? Like stop. Right? Maybe it can control the car. So it's just keeping track here. There was a hint. I'm gonna go look at the hint because I'm curious. So exploit the application and send a message to Mayor malware while capturing the traffic. Okay, so we're going to capture sending a message maybe then. As Mayor malware. Yeah. So we're gonna do it again with the send message. Yeah, I thought it was kind of something with this, so that's why I sent the test. But of course it will also be done through this. So I will try to tab, it just looked like the wrong thing there. So let's do intercept on. Let's I'm the bad guy. And let's click send on that. And Mayor Malware's messages, we don't have any up. But let's send that one on. Here, sender 5. Now we know it's 8, so we don't have to type his name. I was worried there for a second. And now we're going to forward and put this quickly, right? So let's see. Maybe we need to do it again. I hate parking meters. Yeah, so maybe we should just keep having them. So intercept on. And hi. And I did it on. Send. Forward. And sender 8. And let's forward and keep forwarding, right? So we will see the data, if there's any data. 2. So we're getting the tracking data there too. 3 probe. 5. It doesn't look like we get anything from here, right? So the message that we're sending as Mayor Malware. So we got our own messages, right? So we're just going to forward this as ourselves. Yeah, let's test. So we get them back, right? So it should arrive even if it was ours. So if we intercept again, we do another test, and we send it, we change the data, and we forward intercept off. There, now we were quick enough. Just get it here. So, there. My name is Malware, Mayor Malware. Okay. Yeah, so this was a bit annoying that I'm imagining this kind of thing when you're actually trying to do a box and it's just not logical fully. But let's just see if we search for this in the WebSocket history. We must be able to search here, right? Can't we? Search. Is this just in this? So I guess I will do this. There must be a better way than this. Maybe I'm just blind or tired. Filter. Filter by search item. Let's just do THM, right? And this is just a text. And so we can kind of like hide outgoing. And let's see if we look at that. No. Maybe it's just all the keys here, or all the... dude, where's my car? Dude, where's my car? Dude, where's my car? My name is malware, mayor malware. Yeah, so we can find it here. Both of them. So I'm curious a bit why they're sending it twice. As flag 2 and as then the message. So we could also have searched for flag and just did that, and then we just get the flag messages. And let's remove that one. So right, we've explored this a bit. It's not like we want to do more on this, right? Because it was a bit glitchy with the having to turn intercept off quickly, and it didn't even mention it. But it was interesting. So if we untrack now, there. So I would be interested in looking at all of the data though. So if we remove this filter again, there, and we have all of the things. So if we just start at the very start of it, right? It's at the start. That's the tart. 2 probe, 3 probe, 5. We have time steps and ID. This is how we get those messages. And the message. And then we have 2 client, then 2 server, 3. So client sends 2, server sends 3. Client is 2 clients, or well, so, I should say to client message, to client message, and then to client again, and then it answers 3 messages, 2, 3 messages, 2, 3. Where is the position of the car? So it's probably not in here yet. Let's go to the bottom. We didn't turn on tracking. At the end we had tracking on, right? So let's just check. It is still appearing stuff. Let's go back a few minutes. All right, we can see the amount of data here. Tracking update. XY. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. So here we have a lot of tracking updates going all the time. So there's that data. And then there's a message, tracking data. So there's like 3 kinds of communication. We have the 1, 2, 3, we have the tracking updates and the messages. So okie dokie. I'm actually closing Burp. And if you enjoyed this task, so well, the Burp Suite one is out done that already long ago. So